Flooding across the eastern half of the country is our top story now, but we're also following what's happening in Manitoba. Of course, preparations are underway. You can see many sandbags already lined along the river ahead of the potential flooding that could occur. Kasia Bodurka with you here alongside meteorologist Gina Ressler. Gina, thanks for joining us here. It looks like flooding could be so far away in Manitoba, given that we had a pretty major snowstorm yesterday.
I know, when you look at totals like this, 26 centimeters, it's like we're in the dead of winter, but you know, we are in springtime, and springtime is flood season.
Indeed. So looking ahead into your long range, we do have high pressure come Monday evening, but when I'm clicking to start here, Gina, we do have a low that's developing on Tuesday morning.
That's right, and this low is actually bringing a lot of moisture across the prairies. It's going to begin Tuesday evening through Wednesday in Alberta. We could see some heavy amounts of rainfall there, even some heavy snow in parts of the foothills. As the low tracks down towards Manitoba and into Ontario, some of this precipitation could change over to snow as well. So we'll definitely be watching for some of those heavier totals as we head towards midweek.
So indicative of up and down temperatures, indicative of this season. But in going with our discussion about flood preparation, I want you to take a look at this story of a family in Grand Valley. For especially low-lying communities like this, flooding can happen year in, year out with the snow melt. Now, regardless of how common it is imperative to have an emergency plan in place. And now we're taking a look at the Atlantic provinces. Some of the major arteries, the riverways, they are flooded out already. This is a big problem. Thousands of people evacuated. Now the situation is worsening in PEI as well. But now, Gina, we're looking ahead into our long range for the east, seeing some temperature changes.
That's right. We've got a system coming in early midweek, but then look at that. Temperatures dropping towards the end of the week, below seasonal to seasonal temperatures.
Okay, so that could stabilize the situation in the east a little bit. So there's the silver lining with the temperatures going down. Stay with us for more on your local story. We have another episode of Unearthed, and it's going to be kicking off in about 30 seconds. But first, I want to show you what's going to be happening in northern Ontario tomorrow. Clipper system moving through. For most of us, it's a snow story, but the closer you are to Lake Huron, Superior, just east of Superior and Georgian Bay, you will be seeing a rain-snow mix and then later changing over to rain. Meanwhile, for the rest of the country, it looks like this on your Easter Sunday. Have a look. We've got glorious temperatures for a lot of us. We're talking about 13 degrees for the city of Toronto, sun and clouds for the nation's capital as well, and across the east looking great. All right, Unearthed begins right now. The adventures of Mark Robinson and George Karunas continues in about 30 seconds. But first, I want to show you what's happening across the prairies as well as Alberta. We have another clipper developing on the lee of the Rockies for tomorrow. A lot of us seeing a rain-snow mix. So anyone marked in the salmon color, a rain-snow mix for you for at least the morning hours. And eventually that's going to be changing over to rain. Through the higher elevations, through the foothills, though, it's going to be a snowfall story. And we're not talking about huge amounts as well. This is just a weak clipper system. For the rest of the country, it looks like this. We've got sunshine, fair conditions across the east. Now stay with us because Unearthed continues right now.